Welcome everyone to today's webinar. My name is Sanaya Gurnamal, and I'm so happy to have everyone here today. We have an amazing opportunity every month to get this time with Josh and Raena. And so I am looking forward to today's topic, which is awakening the healer within, embracing your theta healing calling. I know that a lot of us came into theta healing, perhaps for our own reasons, but sooner or later, we've all somehow found our calling within theta healing. And so today's conversation with Josh and Raena is all about that journey. I'm going to go ahead and introduce Josh and Raena, who will be our speakers for today. Josh and Raena, you're on.
Well, thank you.
Thanks. Good afternoon, good midday, good morning from over here. So happy to see all your faces, and thank you for that introduction. Always appreciate seeing you. First things first, maybe scan all of you. And let's walk up to the creator of all that is. Everybody take a deep breath in. And gather all the energy up from the bottoms of your feet. Go through your space and see yourself in a beautiful ball of light. Take that ball up through the sky and the universe, through the series of white lights, dark lights, and golden light, through that jelly-like substance and into that tingly white light. Once you're there, say, Creator, thank you for my life. Take a deep breath in and open your eyes. This is a good subject.
It's a great subject. Next year will be the 30th year since my mom's 9-inch tumor and theta healing, and our family's kind of journey was more well known, I think.
Yes.
It's kind of a funny thing. We're talking about awakening the healer within, and in general, when we start talking about that along those lines, we have an interesting kind of group consciousness with the word healer. You know, it's something that we search for, some of our own, but maybe we don't want to be a healer, or maybe we feel like only certain types of professions can have that name. And maybe that's the case in some countries. But when we become a theta healer, we're unlocking a path to understanding ourselves and knowing the influence we have on the world around us. And to us, the more we've gained understanding, the more we've grown into the knowledge of what our cells are doing constantly, we're kind of always working with the people around us and promoting the opportunity to move forward, which is what healing really is to shift your energy and move forward into the moments in a way that you want to. Physical health, emotional health, abundance in all areas of your life.
I definitely think it's an awakening and understanding your cellular communication every moment. Not only that, but it's like self-mastery of who you are, like understanding everything that you do and aspects on every plane, because in every moment we become these wonderful beings of light that really recognize what we do each moment, because healing is more than just healing. It's like we radiate this or exude this radiant beams that say, hey, here I am. I'm here not only to help myself heal, but I'm here to help everybody else do the same. And so I think that word can mean so many different things than just heal. It can mean like, I'm here to help others too understand themselves and what they can do the same.
By awakening the truest version of yourself in all things. That's a long title.
I know, but it's, that's kind of what heal means in my mind. So,
I love this title. I'm a big fan of long titles. When I started my journey with my mom in life, and I know when you started your journey,
which was much later, yes, but
how we kind of connected and even embracing what we were going to do, it was never, okay, this is going to go into all these countries and this is going to go into all these languages. We're going to start reaching people. We were really just focused on moment to moment. And even now, we very much lock in moment to moment. We grow in every moment and see what we can affect and see the people who are in front of us.
Mhm.
And I think in all of our manifestations and all the things that we're working on, physical health, work on that emotional connection, work on that abundance or mental awareness. I think a big part of that is knowing the power that you possess in every moment and the power that you can bring to radiate of the truth of you. Like the truth is, you're an incredible, unique energy. And all the times and all the places that things have come together, you're unique. There may be similarities. You may have connected from your ancestors. You may share traits with family members, but you are a perfect creation that was decided and put together with the memories and the things that you have as an energy to grow.
And I think that the more that you go on your path in theta healing, the more that, and you recognize that the more that you open those doors and recognize things each time you do more things within theta healing, the more that you connect to creator, the more that you strengthen that muscle and really connect, the more that you understand yourself. It's like you open more awareness to who you are and the people around you.
I joke that I've had the longest internship in the world. It reached its 43rd year of interning this year, having grown with my mom. And the first 7 years, hearing some of the things that mom would talk about, like purpose and being special, I really listened and understood. And I was open to, okay, I'm going to follow and do these things. And she's a great intuitive. And then when I was 7, I got a little bit lost in some of my own emotions and all kinds of trigger points. And I didn't want to actually be a theta healer or a healer in general. But it's kind of funny. When it's part of your divine timing, when it's part of your cells and you connect to the world around you, which we're always doing, in every minute you're reaching out and connecting with the world around you. You can't really avoid the opportunity of being you in life. And the universe and the world that we're in is going to keep connecting you to moments to be you. So without even recognizing it, being myself, being a kind person and watching Raena be herself in different situations, you can see that it already is kind of the answer to a lot of these interactions that are being attracted and the things that people are asking for in their life. Mm-hmm. And when you start to embrace that and you start to understand the timing of it and you unlock this real power that's within yourselves to kind of create, you recognize how unique and special you are, but how unique and special all these other energies are too, to have that moment with you. Our builder, when we were putting together our home, which was a divine timing thing, by the way, when we were picking out a couple things, he had the point of view and brought up regularly, this has been waiting a million years for you. Like the stone, some of the stone things and some of the other parts that have come together on this journey. He talked about the connection and the chemistry of things and how our moment was going to be shared. For us, this was the culmination of where we wanted to put our energy for the rest of our time here on this third plane of existence. And having heard him say that, things started to take on a different kind of sense when we unlocked it in ourselves. You know, your energy, whatever you're interacting with right now, has had a path that led you to it, right? You've had ups and you've had downs, and sometimes we've had more downs in certain situations, especially in a world where there's lots of different pressures. However, it still brought you to this interaction. It brought you to this moment where you've unlocked a door. Mm-hmm. And you've joined your journey of your own healing, as was mentioned when we started talking, and that journey is already connected and inspiring something else. Now, it might be something small, or it could be something big. It could be 40 people that are watching you transform and going, wow, how did they do that? How do I do that? It could be a blade of grass outside. I like grass. You're going to hear lots of grass references.
And we like your grass pictures in the background. Good job.
Yeah, well, that definitely triggered me specifically. Energies that come together, you're contacting, you're communicating with. And one of the first things that we get a chance to show people is the way energy travels from person to person. You're perfect conduits of energy and communication. There's these fun little toys that you can pick up that show large groups, small groups, energy travels from person to person and communicates things. So in every moment, just saying hello or good morning. I woke up this morning and said good morning.
Every morning.
Every morning. I get to say good morning. Raina's usually awake before me by 10, 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes 30. Okay, sometimes an hour. But I get to say good morning, and I get to come in, and our cells get to communicate everything that changed from just the nighttime. Everything that maybe we experience new and what we're ready to embrace in the new moment. And we have a conversation, and then we get to reach out and have that conversation with the world around us. So in every minute, as you're making changes, you're communicating that in your environment, you're communicating that in the world. And when you start to see and understand
and embrace that part of yourself, it makes it easier for people to feel everything about you, all the things that you've gone through. It's easier for people to be able to draw to you and be able to feel that they can be accepted as well for their journey, their stories, the things that they've done in their life. Because when we can all come together as one and feel like we can be accepted, it's beautiful and it's important, because every single person is important.
We have had a lot of different pressures in our understanding of things, and we've had a lot of opportunities. And what we're given on our path is we're given choices of when to embrace certain things and when we're not going to embrace certain things. We're given the opportunity to interact with energies. And like, for instance, on my theta healing journey, I had the opportunity to make it a super easy journey, or I could make it a very interesting journey.
Interesting, that's a good word.
Do you like the word interesting? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I had this idea in my cells that if I was going to accomplish something and unlock all of the opportunity of a moment and experience like the true abundance, that it had to follow a certain number of failures. Actually, there was actually that program in my cells that I had to fail 3 times. Each time had to get more difficult before having success. And it was a pattern that I had repeated from an ancestral level, from even further back on some of these other levels, deep ancestral level. You could see family members that had passed down some of these things, and I had taken it on. I'd taken it on in part because there was a huge belief that we're so connected to our ancestors that we have to help heal these things. I like that. I love being able to connect to their energies and helping them heal. It's something I keep. But it affected the type of energy that I was communicating in certain moments. And it affected even my opportunity to embrace the moments in life sooner. Like, for instance, we say all the time, Raena and I were 5 minutes apart, sometimes 5 seconds apart in our journey while we're searching for each other. We all go on that journey where we want to find a connection, we want to have understanding. There were moments where we were in the same place, same day.
And that may be the same way with you guys. You may be looking for somebody, or you may be looking for somebody may be looking for you for a healing, or you may be looking for a love relationship, or whatever the case may be, that they may be looking for you, and you may be 5 minutes apart, but your timing is just off because of programs that may be held in place, or ancestral beliefs that maybe you may be carrying that may be held in place that aren't ready for you to find those people. And like Josh, he wasn't able to do that because he had to do it 3 times before he could find the fourth time of finding the love and of the life that he wanted to have. And so being able to heal and finding those programs that were holding him back from that. I mean, I wouldn't have been ready had he tried to find me in the first place, but everything is a good timing for when it needs to be in fruition in the first place.
Yeah, when you kind of unlock your own energy and you realize what you're exchanging, we're putting out our energy to accept the pieces of our divine timing. We're putting out our energy to create more of the energy we put into things, whether we're creating with lower vibrational energies like frustration or fear or anger, or we're creating with higher vibrational energies like love and joy. That's kind of really the currency of ourselves and ourself in every moment in our life. And then when you start to know that what you're putting out is coming back constantly, then you take a look into what you're really putting out. And then you discover, oh, inside is all these pieces of information and communications that maybe we weren't fully aware of. You know, we store, gosh, they theorize that we process 4 trillion pieces of information per second. 4 trillion little bits of information per second. It's an amazing amount of data that our body and our cells can go through. And then they know that our cells can store all the information that's ever been posted on the internet, ever, including this whole webinar series and all the Zoom posts or all the Instagram posts and all the different WeChats and everything from the time the internet was created until still 10 years from now. Another 10 years of people posting. Well, think about all that information all over the world, and you have all that stored inside yourself. Now imagine sorting through all that information to see what you're really communicating. And then imagine turning that over to just be run on autopilot. Like you just flip the switch and turn it off and let something else inside of you run it all the time, instead of kind of waking it up and going, well, what am I really communicating? What am I really asking? And we find out that when we manifest, we fill in a lot of the things about our manifestations. We're manifesting all the time. You know, you're creating constantly. You're taking and creating what your needs are. You're taking and creating the balance of yourself in every moment. I just read an article yesterday that talked about the neurological pathways that are created from eating. And that if people have trained their neurological pathways to not pick up on the hormones of eating, like they don't know when they're full and not full, that the brain struggles to reset from just certain patterns. It struggles to know which pattern it's supposed to follow. Some people can get lost on it for years. I think that's kind of the journey with healing, is our energies, we put into certain situations, we feel certain pressures. And sometimes we get lost in those pressures for years. I know I got lost for a little while. I know you got lost on your own journey to yourself for a little while. And then we have to figure out where we value ourselves and how we value ourselves. And then we start looking around us. You know, we look around and hope that the world will give us a value, or that will accomplish something that lets us be seen and valued and loved and accepted. Again, things that I've experienced myself, I think things that you've experienced.
For sure.
I think things you've all probably experienced a little bit. Instead of being able to unlock and embrace this knowledge that you're perfectly created to go through this moment. You have the tools and the connection to unconditional love to solve and communicate and maximize the opportunity that you've been given. And we know we can't control the actions that maybe happen to us or what other people do, but we can unlock a higher protection or seventh plane protection of unconditional love, where certain energies just bounce off and they don't affect us anymore.
And that's the best thing that, and the gift that we have within Theta Healing, because we have all of those tools that we can enjoy and embrace. Theta Healing is the key, at least it is for us, and allows us to have all those different tools that can allow us to be able to change the beliefs that we have, that anything that's holding us back, and allow us to improve on anything that it is that we no longer want to be holding us back from our greatest versions of who we want to be. And that's beautiful, because at any moment, if I don't like what I'm putting out there, I can change it right now, right here. I don't have to be the same version I was yesterday. I can be a new version today.
And you can feel kind of the pressure of what's going on and what maybe you're turning that into yourself, and then wonder and go, is this what I want to create with? Is this what I want to put forward into the moment? You know, just yesterday, I was at my annual exam.
Mhm.
We get to visit our doctor every year as part of our insurance things. And a wonderful guy. Love our doctor. We have great conversations. And he started bringing up questions that pertain to theta healing, right? Questions, but it wasn't theta healing. We're teaching the basics of theta healing. We're teaching the algorithm parts about what your cells are creating and some of the things we talked about
Mhm.
to a whole bunch of youth athletics in the area. We're teaching coaches how to pay attention to why an energy does a certain thing and how to let them know their value in every moment and how to really open up that door. And so he's asking questions, and it's kind of funny because I could see this version of me that would have been 25, 30 years ago, and this version of me now, and I could see us both sitting there, knowing the journey I'd been on and the way I would answer different things. 30 years ago, same pressure. I would have been fumbling, looking for my value, knowing, hey, this person studied a lot. How do I answer these questions? And I would have been really taking extra time to try to find that connection, make sure I use the right words. But in that moment, having trusted that connection, developed it every day, knowing what it feels like to put that into our life. The words just kind of flowed, and we built an understanding, and I could feel in his cells that when he was saying things like and asking questions, it was genuine interest. But in the past, I could already also see that my cells would have taken that same interest, that same curiosity, and interpreted it as intimidating, because I used to have something in my cells that was intimidating. You know, when we can't feel unconditional love in our life, and we wonder if it's there, sometimes it's because we haven't been allowed to have it for ourselves. And we haven't been allowed to carry that kind of appreciation in the things that we do. Sometimes we don't have certain receptors. We've never been allowed to know how important we are in our situations, or how important what we do is in every moment. When I first met Raena, I saw the most beautiful person I'd ever seen in my life. In here, inside her heart.
Thanks.
And what was really difficult was she had never been appreciated for that type of beauty. Instead, on her journey, as I sat down and came in the room and see all these flashes of things, what I pick up on her journey is all these pushes, all these movements. So because of what people thought, because of the way her family felt about certain things, because of the way other people took a look at her energy, she had spent a lifetime of people trying to push that energy to use the way they wanted to. She had been in moments where people thought that meant I'm supposed to maximize this energy. I want this energy to belong to me. And it had caused a journey of trying to understand really what the world had in store for her. I think, as Raena puts it, she was ready to
Give up. I basically had met my end and said, I am done. It's over. I think this is the end. I don't think this is where I need to be anymore. I was finished.
we get pushed into the ground. We get pushed into some of these other things, and we don't allow that understanding of how special that we really are. Like, we can sit right here and we can scan your body and see your cells. We can talk about and see the moments that you've had in some of your lives, and some of them, when you look at them, there's some hard things,
Yes.
and there's some very difficult levels in life. And as we say that, all of you guys probably instantly go through the hard things. You bring up some of the more difficult pieces of your journey, right? But here's the thing, you're still here. So whatever difficulty that you've gone through to get to this moment, you managed to know how to solve in yourselves. You managed to know how to move to that minute, and how to move to the next minute, and how to move to the next minute. And you did it sometimes in a way that wasn't easy.
Or maybe not the way that you thought was the best, but you got up and you overcame it.
And when we look back, we can define the best, but in the moment, you were perfect. In the moment, you found the perfect solution to get to the next moment. And you continue to find the perfect solution to move through these pressures of life and understand yourself. Now, what we can do on our journey is we can unlock so much of that understanding and so much of that love for ourselves that we know how to feel it in every moment. The key of knowing, people will sometimes ask one of the bigger questions. You get soulmate questions, you get divine path questions, but you get a lot of questions about whether or not an energy loves people. You know, does this energy of creation really love me? Does the universe care about me?
Mm-hmm.
And the answer is absolutely. In every moment, the universe is caring about you. In every moment, the universe is listening and giving you the tools to unlock more. But when the universe is giving you those tools to unlock more, you can't compare it or look at yourself in terms of the mold of, I can be just like this person, or I can be just like that person. The mold is, everything about you was created to be you. You were created to have those thoughts. You were created to share your story. And even those things that were really difficult, that were really hard,
They made you. That's what's so beautiful.
and then when you unlock that and you find the power in it, and you are able to express it and talk about what you've learned, then you're teaching.
And that's healing. When you overcome it and you get up again and again and again, and you're able to be you, that's healing.
One of the reasons that we love getting to do these webinars every month in these different places,
besides seeing you, of course,
is to see you. Yeah, it's to get the pieces of your energy.
We can feel your energy. Yes.
The snippets of your story, and even when we get to go teach and we get to meet in person and feel cells, it reminds us of how much power exists in the world, inside of people, inside their hearts, like the greatness that you carry, to feel these pressures,
Mm-hmm.
and still allow hope and allow joy and allow possibility. These are things that for some reason we give up in certain senses, and we can turn into what it can create, right? We don't have to always learn from our difficulties, but we know and develop perfectly in certain senses. Like we can go up and I can go up and understand compassion and perspective. I can from the seventh plane. But if I'm being fully honest, I've lived probably 25 lifetimes worth of stories. I have stories on top of stories on top of stories about different situations. I've had different career understanding. I've had moments when we've been treated like we're not part of a society, where we didn't fit in entirely. We got pushed around because we thought differently. I have personally experienced all kinds of different mindsets towards a person. It doesn't mean that I completely understand it the way that a person is feeling. But what it does mean is when I go up to the seventh plane, I recognize a lot of feelings.
And perspectives.
I recognize what's going on in a person's life. And you can learn it one way, you can learn it another way. You're going to learn it in the best way that your cells can to apply that connection and to understand those virtues to go forward. We start teaching classes, we start connecting here, and you're going to start to unlock your intuition to where you can start to see more what's going on. You can see pieces of information and people's paths and how special they are. And then you get to see the extra gift, which is what they're going to choose to do with it all. What are they going to choose to do in the next minute? And how are they going to choose to apply that in their life? And when you first start to unlock that gift, there's kind of this desire to be like, well, wait, why would you choose that? You don't want to choose that. And in some cases, they'll come up and ask you, like, okay, I don't want to choose that. And then you can understand their choice. But a lot of times, even if you're like, no, you don't want to choose that. No, you don't want to. I can't tell you how many times my mom came in, sat down and said, don't choose this. And I went, yeah, I'm going to choose this. You're wrong. This is my path. This is what's going to happen. And then I would learn my lesson. And instead of going, see, told you, my mom went, well, okay, on to the next choice, right? On to the next thing that you're able to move forward in life. And when, again, we go back to that moment that I met Raena, it didn't matter what it was in life. It was the first time I understood unconditional love. And what I wanted to do was open a door for somebody who needed a door open. So as the story goes, Raena asked for a job. We weren't hiring. But when she got up all her courage, and you could feel her energy getting up all the courage to do so. And she didn't really ask. She sort of just stated that she was getting a job. It was easy for me to feel in my cells. And it was easy for me to look at the situation and go, these are all the different things that say no. And there was a lot of them. But there was a higher understanding of what said, open the door. Show love. Give this person this chance. And my exact words were, you look like someone who needs some things to start to happen. You need some love and some acceptance and some opportunity. So, okay, but I can't hire you. I have to call someone else, but we'll figure it out.
And sometimes people are just looking for just that, some acceptance, some love, somebody to tell them that they just need a break. And that can be you. Just a smile, just a hug, just a words of encouragement, something, anything. That's what people are looking for. And you as a healer, as a theta healer, as somebody that can recognize from the seventh plane, you can be that radiant love of light that they are looking for at any time.
There are parts of you that are going to be the same, and there are parts that are going to be different. And we learned a long time ago that both and all parts of yourself are to be embraced. They're to be who you are in the best communication you can. We have to fit into the pressures of our environment. We do, but we get the choice to make into those pressures in certain ways. And we get the choice to understand how to problem solve and radiate who we are in every moment. And there are so many things in our family, in our community that we do because we know it's unconditional love that make no sense. We get told on a regular basis, you guys are running a business, but you don't make business decisions. No, because our energy in our life is run by love, unconditional love. We go up, we ask certain things, and then we do it. We trust completely in our divine timing and the tools that we have. And when you unlock that, you look around you, see a lot of other tools. The most empowering thing that happened on my journey was understanding that I had lots of people around me, one in particular, who compliments me very well. She loves to do things that help me, but she doesn't do them just to help me. She does them because they're herself and they fit. And I was surrounded by even more people when I recognized that kind of actually fit energetically. So instead of fighting against a lot of the pressures, instead of fighting against my mom giving me watches all the time and compasses, I have more watches and compasses as gifts from my mom. It's like, okay, it's time. Okay, it's this direction. Okay, it's time. That I would fight against every year.
And perhaps you have people that are around you that you are having a hard time seeing that are there for you as well. Sometimes it's hard to see the people that are around us that are there that want to help because we are so independent as people. We want to be able to be that person that can stand on our own 2 feet and do it ourselves, right? But we're surrounded by people all the time.
It's kind of funny. Raena started her healing journey. We started talking just like this. And you guys learning the very, very basics of theta healing that you have learned and adding more to. We're kind of combining all kinds of stuff. And your journey into theta healing started very similar. We were sitting and talking, and we started doing a couple of exercises.
Basically, like the Rainbow Children style.
Yeah, we did Rainbow Children style. And then Raena got really interested and asked to learn the class. And then she kind of learned the class. And then she asked, this is really cool. After Raena learned the class and started to understand the power in herself, the person who caused the most
problem and heartache in my life was my ex-husband. So I asked him, will you go teach him? I said, I think it would benefit not only him, but my kids.
Yes.
So I asked him if he'd go teach him.
So in the middle of our little moment of extra drama, which we'd created from some comments in our own selves to the world around us, Raena says, go teach this person.
Why not?
And I said, okay. Person I never met, obviously has an ulterior motive, but if it's meant to be and you feel it's meant to be and you're picking it up, then I'll go up and I feel it's meant to be. We're going to trust that energy. And to this day, that person has not caused any extra drama or anything since that moment. There has been disagreements about children energy sometimes.
But sometimes we have to get out of our own way and have unconditional love. That's part of unconditional love.
And the moment to turn it happened when you opened up the possibility that things could change.
Yeah.
And the possibility of things changing in every moment exists. For some moments, it takes standing up for yourself. It does. Some moments, it takes unlocking the opportunity and saying, I'm important. And when we say we're important, sometimes we've given up communications in ourselves, you know, to people who have used our energy in certain ways. And we feel like we don't have our own voice. We don't have our own choice. When we start to unlock ourselves and everything else, it's not a battle for that choice. It's a way that knows that love can move energies. There's a story about my favorite animal and what would be my power animal, which is the deer. And I've always loved the deer in my life. I have. When I was a little kid, I watched Bambi. I cried a little bit, but saw Bambi grow up, and I was enamored. So I always had this extra kind of connection to this animal. And I didn't really fully understand it until I came across this story. It's a Native American story about the deer. And the way that it works is they're sitting there talking about all these animals, and they're on the road to the Great Spirit. They're all trying to get this connection, and they're trying to get to it's a mountain in their story. And the road is blocked by this giant energy. It translates to the word demon because that's the closest thing that we have, but it's not really that.
Like a troll. Let's say it's like a troll.
But
like,
it won't.
Like a troll of the bridge. Someone that's kind of like this troll of the bridge.
Yeah, so it's standing on the road and won't let any of the animals from the great forest up to the top. And all these animals try, and as they try, they get so far that then they get chased off and they get scared and they run away. And along comes this deer, and the deer doesn't come charging up the mountain. The deer is very aware of its energy, and it has the word is gentleness. That's the word that is used. As it kind of comes up the pathway, it sees it there, and instead of being intimidated, there's a caring about why this energy is stuck on the road, Gosh, it must be really hard for you to be stuck here all the time. What's going on your journey? And of course, I'm very much paraphrasing this story for time purposes. But as the story unfolds, that gentleness kind of continues and can be felt. And as it's felt, this energy doesn't only stop blocking the road, but it transforms completely. It's no longer this big imposing energy. It becomes something different. And the path to great creation or great spirit is open for everybody. It wasn't opened by force or frustration or anger, all these other energies that were possessed by the creatures of the forest. It was opened by the gentleness of an animal that is most oftentimes used by some of the other animals to go on its journey in the cycle of things. And yet it still had a great gentleness about it in the situation. In our lives, when we unlock our different tools, we unlock these different virtues, we unlock the opportunity to connect with love. And love is its own vibration, right? Pure creation energy of love carries a calmness, it carries a gentleness, it carries a different feeling in each moment. And I know that some of you maybe have started to understand the effects, and some of you are opening more of those effects in your life. One thing that we want to make sure is that we know that you guys have that connection to pure love and pure energy, and that you have acceptance for everything that you are and everything that you've been in your lives. It's always there. It's there for you to unlock and connect with and strengthen in everything that you do. So when we first walk you up there, if you didn't feel it all the way, you're probably just working on some receptors to allow it more in your life. We're going to give you some downloads that you can allow it on your journey, that you can allow the opportunity in yourselves to create with love, and that you can allow the opportunity to experience the pure creation energy of unconditional love in the moments that you continue to create in your life.
And that you can feel acceptance for yourself, know that you're unique, and that you can have that creator love all the time in every moment that you walk every day. If that's okay, make sure you say yes, nod your head, put your thumbs up, whatever it is that you want to do.
Just that you know how to feel and allow that love inside of yourself for yourself in the moments of your life.
And for others as you radiate it out. Okay. It
was a good time.
was a good time. Thank you, Sanaya. And everybody
Thank
that's here and joined us. We appreciate you. Any other things?
Thank you, Josh Raena, for this beautiful session. I mean, a lot of things connected with me. I can imagine how everyone else must be feeling. I love the reminder that, love is really the most important vibration. It's the energy of creation. Just remembering that, and taking that away, I think that is the most powerful thing. So thank you again for a beautiful session. Thank you everyone for being here. I want to acknowledge our interpreters, Akemi, who's interpreting for the Japanese students, Hui, who's interpreting for the Chinese students, and Shabnam, who's interpreting for everyone who is speaking Farsi from wherever they are. Okay, so I appreciate all of you. And of course, it's so early in the morning for Josh and Raena, so we especially appreciate you. Thank you. I want to just thank you all once again, invite you to our monthly webinars. We will keep having these webinars with Josh and Raena. And also we are leading up to instructor classes in the Philippines in October, and you are all welcome. You are all invited. Yay. Lots of love, everyone.
Bye. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.